Conclusion. This book was written after I spent over half a decade studying personal finances, reading anything I could get my hands on that taught me more about finances, and then putting what I learned into action by using it in real life. At 19, I was presented with an opportunity to help people better understand finances by using an educational approach. At the time, I had no idea how to handle my own finances, so how could I ever hope to help other people out in that area of their lives? Luckily, I was still a young philosopher, and I was in a mental space where I was constantly questioning my own beliefs. To be more specific, I was obsessed with finding and understanding my limiting beliefs. You see, a limiting belief is any idea in your head that when you want to experience something, usually new and outside your comfort zone, your mind immediately says you can't do that, thus limiting you from reaching a space of growth and new experiences. Through discomfort, the philosopher Nietzsche taught me that we have growth. I began questioning everything that I knew about finances and money, going into a phase where my philosophical focus shifted from existentialism, the foundation of my journey as a philosopher, towards capitalism. In 2016 and 2015, I was given the opportunity to teach English in Trois-Rivières, Quebec. Not only were my experiences and the people that I got to know there unforgettable, but I was also able to move out and find out if I could survive on my own. By spending that year living on my own and being responsible for my own skin, I was able to put everything that I'd learned up until now about finances to use. Halfway through my contract with the school division in Trois-Rivières, I was getting one free lunch a month, which is about $10, being paid to me in dividends from one of my favorite Canadian companies. Living on my own provided me with the opportunity to prove to myself that I could not only survive on my own, but that I could thrive on my own and send my parents money monthly since I was making more than I could spend. Upon returning to Winnipeg during the summer of 2016, after my contract in Quebec had ended, I decided to work on my first book full-time, which meant I was not going to work a regular job until I was finished. I spent the whole summer creating this book, then taking a vacation to the Philippines in the middle of summer to then finish my book with inspirations from my vacation to the Eastern world. It was during this time of working for myself and trying to complete my life's work as a philosopher that I was introduced to entrepreneurship. Well, truth is, my first entrepreneurial endeavor was when I did a renovation job when I was younger, painting my old manager's wood trim around her house and garage a few summers ago. I even hired a few of my friends to help me out, paying $2 above minimum wage at the time. I believe all my friends deserve more than just the minimum. But this summer was different. I started Patty's Lawn Care as well as working towards getting a license in the financial industry. I had yet to learn that by becoming an insider in finances, you can take your financial education to the next level. The lawn care business was a complete failure. After less than a month, I had realized that I was only able to pay myself $5 an hour. At least the training towards getting my financial license as a life agent was going great. I was learning so much. It was completely unpaid training, of course, other than some bonuses when I was able to get my training done, but I somehow knew that by offering free work to learn, I was setting myself up to earn while I learned. To sum everything up, it was through taking responsibility of my own financial education and thus increasing my financial literacy that I was able to reach a point in my life where I will never be broke again. I originally wanted to build a few side income sources so that during my final year of my teaching degree, a year where us students were expected to work full-time for free in an unpaid practicum while also completing university projects, I would at least have some cash coming in. What started off as the need to build a side business quickly turned into building over 7 sources of income in less than a year. Not bad, since in the beginning, I was constantly criticized for focusing on business, and many people asked me when I would essentially give up and go back to working a regular job. My goal in this book was to shed some light towards the journey towards financial literacy and for you to take responsibility of your own financial education. This book has left many financial concepts out, and in fact, I wanted to keep this book as a work of philosophy and not a book on finances, even if it did turn out to be on the subject of finances, since if I can just show one person how they can start learning more about how the money game works, then I would consider that a success. Reading this book is great, but you will learn a lot more by simply putting what you have learned into action. I also urge you to continue learning about finances and increasing your financial literacy. I hope that I've offered you some value, whether that be philosophical education or with financial education, that one day we can both achieve financial independence and then teach our own friends, family, and maybe even kids how to never be broke again. Remember, it is a choice to become financially secure and eventually financially independent. Only you can make that choice. Thanks for listening. It's Dasein the Philosopher.